I'm feeling so proud today to be here amongst you, the brightest in your field. Yes? Wonderful. I like the energy and we can be little more energetic. Yes? Wonderful. So, Tech Bhubaneswar and Mindfire has given us this opportunity today, and I think it's a great opportunity for all of us to share our knowledge, explore new ideas and make new friends. Can we have a big round of applause for the organizers? They have done a wonderful job, and our esteemed speakers spoke it really well about technologies, future technologies, blockchain, and how the world is going to be in next 10 years, 20 years, and so on. So, yeah, in next 20 minutes, what I'm going to cover is little bit of future for all of us as an organization, as an individual. Now, you all are techies, you know, I may not cover as much into RPA and AI, but I'll try to cover a little bit on how they are applicable. But let me ask you, okay, so let me ask you one thing, quick question is, suppose we want to know about future, what is that comes to your mind that gives us some kind of belief that it's going to be great or how, whatever it will be? Any guesses? Any guesses, guys? Yes, past, someone said past. Great, so if we understand the past a little bit, it gives us the, you know, belief that how the future would be. So what I want to do is right now take you, you know, for a few seconds to the past. From there we will see the future, that is present day 2018, and again we come back to 2018 and we'll try to see the future, what is there for us, the techies, right? Because we all are software engineers, we would definitely be interested what's there in store for us. Are you with me? Wonderful.
तुम झगड़ा करने आए हो? अमीर और गरीब आदमी का काहे का झगड़ा बाबू? झगड़ा तो हाथ और मशीन का है बस.
But even in the US, 60% of small businesses don't have an online booking system. We think AI can help with this problem. So let's go back to this example. Let's say you want to ask Google to make you a haircut appointment on Tuesday between 10 and noon. What happens is the Google Assistant makes the call seamlessly in the background for you. So what you're going to hear is the Google Assistant actually calling a real salon to schedule the appointment for you. Let's listen.
How can I help you? Hi, I'm calling to book a woman's haircut for a client. I'm looking for something on May 3rd. Sure, give me 1 second.
So for the character Shankar in 1957, probably he did not realize this is coming, right? So with this hypothesis, I would, or maybe reality, I would like to ask you one thing. So does this give you confidence that we have a great future ahead? Yes? And start believing we have a great future because the future, our future is in our hands. Now I'll start the discussion. So why are we talking about this topic today? We all are software engineers, right? What do? We develop softwares. And by developing software, we change the business organizations. Change in the sense we help business going from one state to another to a better state of tomorrow. So I can say we all are change agents in some way, some or other way, right? So this transformation, what we help the business organizations in bringing these changes, why is that really needed? Any guesses? Maybe from the back row, any guesses? Why is this transformation needed for business organizations? Yes, because the dynamics is changing, competition is becoming fierce, and you have to survive, then you have to grow. Just survival is not going to help. So that's where this transformation is very much necessary. But what gets transformed in a business? We develop a software, fine, we give it to business, they use it in some way, but what gets transformed in reality? The answer to this lies in us understanding what a business organization consists of. If you see, every business organization will have its products or services to offer. The products or services will be used by your end users or the clients, right? Be it a, banking service, or it could be, a car manufactured by automotive industries. It's a product or service used by end users. Then you have set of business processes that help getting that product or service to the market for the end user to use it. And kind of encompassing all these things, there is a business model that talks about the finances, the ecosystem, the competition for business, the supplier, manufacturer, and all, the whole ecosystem that is all about business model. Now, I hope you got the answer now. So these are some of the things. So when we are talking about the changes happens in any of these things, or I am not saying specific these things, but it's a combined system. So who helps this transformation? Again, we already answered this question. So the digital technologies in today's date, they help in this transformation. Be it the Internet of Things, be it artificial intelligence, or we talk about concepts like design thinking, right? We are talking, we are bringing innovation in the open source. And all these RPA, AI, machine learning, so these advanced technologies or digital age technologies, they help in this transformation process. That's where we call this business transformation through digital technologies is called digital transformation. So next time someone asks you what digital transformation is, you should be absolutely confidently explain them what is this. And you are a, change agent, as I said, in that whole process. So RPA, now coming a little bit to RPA, we know it's a robotic process automation that talks about, automating your rule-based tasks, right? So rule-based activities or very deterministic activities where you don't have much of intelligence to, do. It's almost the mundane task. However, the organizations have started believing that RPA is not enough, because RPA especially focuses on the business process automation. We saw in the previous figure, right, in one of the components is business processes that helps the product and services bringing to the market. So RPA is not always, enough to automate it end to end. Somewhere it gets stuck here, or, initial part is kind of, it requires a lot of human logic or so on. So it doesn't automate end to end. That's where AI components come into picture. Now, when I say AI components, that are content-centric AI or the components of AI that's the most suitable for, process automation things. So either you have your artificial intelligence component providing the input to your RPA, or once it is automated by RPA, it is, used as an output. So in this way, what organizations have started believing that whole process can be automated end to end. And that's where the future is, and that's where the major benefit they would get. So generally, where it is applicable? It could be applicable to any of the industries, be it your product manufacturing, or be it your services sector, or any of the industries like infrastructure, legal, IT, HR, who supports the core industry. We all work for our clients, right? So they are into some business or some services. So we, IT, as a supporting industry. So RPA with AI, this end-to-end automation can be applicable across all the industries. So the first example that I'll take 3 examples, very simple ones. I'm sure you will be able to relate to it in your day-to-day activities and day-to-day work. So manufacturing, when I'm saying manufacturing, it could be your automotive industry, it could be a natural resources industry, or it could be a pharma industry who manufactures drugs, or it could be services industry as well, like the banking, insurance, and so on. So what the future, because we are saying we are talking about the future, so what is expected as the future? The future is expected that this automation plays a central role in digitization. For automation across the value chain to focus more on research and design and a solid focus on customer experience. That is what the future is going to be. That's what organizations expect that RPA with AI is going to bring. So this is a typical value chain starting from research and design, procurement, manufacturing, supply chain till customer service. So what happens here is, say for example, in your research and design, on today's date you have a car being manufactured in 3 years time from ideation to bringing it to market. Now the organizations will focus on how do I bring it to the market in 2 years time. That's where your research and design is playing a key role. Say for example, you use pattern matching in natural resources industry. They look for mineral deposits using pattern matching. In drug discovery, in pharmaceuticals, suppose a pharmaceutical company is trying to discover a drug for cancer, they are doing pattern matching to understand the pattern, how it will target how it will hit the target. Similarly, say for example procurement. When we are talking about procurement, a lot of contract management. So contract management is one of the biggest use cases for RPA. In contract management, you will find a lot of unstructured data. The forms are varying in nature. You will have hundreds of thousands of forms of different varieties. That's where RPA cannot help. As I said, robotic process automation helps when it's very deterministic, very rule based, and you know what to do. But when it's unstructured data, it gets difficult for them. So that's where what you can do, bring the machine learning concepts here, where your bot, your program is going to learn on its own. Looking at the contract management documents over a period of time, it will learn, then it will help the RPA process. So machine learning is about, we make the machine learn with the trained data and so on. Similarly, manufacturing. Say for example, in your manufacturing plant, you are scheduling your machines or human beings to do the jobs. So you can again use RPA for these scheduling and other things. But what happens, suppose a machine goes down, it fails. In that case, what will happen? So you must take the, the predictive modeling techniques to understand when the machine is going to fail. If you can understand when a machine is going to fail, then your RPA for scheduling, all those things work. Otherwise, the whole, it's a physical robot or human being, they come to stop. So there are similar other examples here. So what industry experts believe is that if we implement RPA with AI in manufacturing industries or in general, the efficiency of process efficiency increases by 40% from the day to day without its implementation. And more interesting is the workforce in decision making role is going to increase by 30%, which means 3 out of every 10 persons sitting in this hall is going to change their roles into a decision making role. So is that not interesting for all of us from career perspective? So the next one is, next example, so this is about manufacturing, we can discuss a lot more. I'm moving on to the next one. So this function is very close to all of us. It's the backbone of any organization. It helps in building our career. It helps the organization to keep it running. Any guess what this function I'm talking about? Yes, I'm talking about HR. No doubt every function is great, but I'm talking about the human resources. So this is something you will be able to relate even more. What the future is for expected for HR department is, they should engage in building the relationship with the employees, hire the top talent for the organizations, and more importantly, retain the top talents within the organizations, and bring this culture of values to the organization. That's the future we are talking about. But how is it possible? How is it possible if our HR department or function is so busy in doing so many things that really doesn't justify their higher qualification of HR specialization? So since we all are software engineers and we have superpower in our hand, it's our job now to bring technology into place and automate some of these things. So what industry experts believe is, it's like 72% of employers, it's a research done, 72% of employers believe that by 2028 there would be some or other HR function will be completely automated. That's where we see our future. Now what are these activities that really doesn't justify HR's or HR department's actions? So some of them are, say you talk about recruitment, onboarding, seasonal resource demand, payroll management, data management, managing employee data, and offboarding, exit interviews, and so on. I'm not saying everything is right use case for RPA or RPA with AI, but these activities generally involve a lot of paperwork. Okay, these involve a lot of paperwork, a lot of manual work that doesn't really add much value. So that's where when they are working with their HR portal, CCM systems and other systems, we have option for automating them. But now with application of AI, let me take two examples here. The chatbot. Suppose you put a chatbot that talks to the employees to give them a unique experience that they know about the HR policies, the rules of the organization, they lodge their grievances, and these the chatbot responds in a more customized way. And the second example I am talking about, again, that takes takes advantage of the predictive modeling, where my HR is going to understand which employee is going to leave the organization in next 6 months or 9 months and put all the effort to keep or retain that employee back, right? So you might have heard of IBM Watson Hr Analytics for HR. What that does is it studies the employees leaving the organization with the reasons why they leave. Then it equates, okay, these are the mappings. So next time, suppose I am changing my career every 2 years. It's a very simple case. They see my resume, this guy is changing his resume. Okay, so that means 1.5 years this guy is going to leave. And if I am really talented, they want to retain me, hold this guy. Now see what are the possible reasons he will leave, right? So this is the future we are talking about. Great, let's take a pause and I'll ask you a question here. Now you have been retained in your industry and we are talking about information technology. What next? You are retained with a lot of expectation that you are a talented employee, you are high performing employee, so what's next? Any guess what I'm going to talk about next? Information technology, it's all our industry. So what we are expected to do as change agents, we are expected to solve much bigger business problems. We are expected to bring service excellence. We are expected to do product engineering. And we are expected to help business transforming, for a better future. Right? And most of you will believe me, and I am sure some of you in this room, including me, we all do a lot of tasks at different points of time that we know that these tasks are not really that value add, right? So we feel like, oh, I did an engineering and I have an engineering brain, or I am a computer program, what is this I am doing? Some kind of activities. So what happens then? Is it not our responsibility to look into some of our roles and see what can be automated, and then we go to management and ask them, how can I bring more value or add more value to the organization. This is here my piece of work, this much, I do automation of this much, give me some more work that utilizes my engineering brain fully. Do you think this is the time we have to go to that level? Now let me take one simple example about support triaging. We all are in part of operations support team. We manage our applications, we maintain applications, manage users, password resets, storage quota management, this, that, incident request and service requests come in a tool, we prioritize them, take it to the, and put it for the reservoir group to resolve. Now, I'll tell you something from my example. I used to do that, 5 to 6 years back. Now, then what happened? They introduced a provisioning tool. I was working with SharePoint by the time. In Mindfire, many of you will be able to relate it to. I was working in SharePoint, where my daily job was, I go to office, I'll look into my ticketing tool. I will have user request, okay, create this site for me. I will create that site, set the permissions, send them an email saying that, okay, I'm coming to your desk to train you in SharePoint. Then what happened? There was a tool from APoint, I think DocAv. This tool came into picture. It's called site provisioning tool. So that tool was exposed to the end users, right? So they entered the details on whose name the site will be created, what permission will be there. So it created the site. It set the permissions, it sent a training material to the end users, and my role is gone. I'm completely wiped out. That's where, no clapping for I'm being wiped out, okay. That's where I had to switch to something else, and today I'm here before you. Okay, so this support triaging is a typical example where you can apply, typical RPA along with linguistic analysis. So when it's about linguistic analysis, suppose it studies the tonality and the sentiments from the emails or the chat messages, or you talk about the voice phone call from your end users or the person who complains, then it categorizes the request into different categories. It sends out to the right resolver group. And then, as I said, your engineering brain starts working to resolve the problem. Rather than doing this classification, putting it into different section, you start resolving the problems. So application of linguistic analytics. So we have in fact so many exciting topics coming in the rest of the day on all these technologies in detail. So the next example that I'm going to talk about is again Bpo Industries. It's needless to say, it's it's known in fact to everyone. Bpo Industry, they deal with, or even operational industry within IT, they deal with a lot of data, documents, they transform from one system to another system, they download it, extract information, process it. So typical example of RPA. But in this example, what happens, suppose they download the data from a website, they manually extract the information out of that, put it in, suppose in an Excel sheet, and that Excel worksheet again takes the data to another portal using RPA. So we have RPA here, we have RPA here, but this extraction part is, requires some decision making, and these decision makings are also kind of repetitive. That's where I bring this, AI components again, be it vision skills with machine learning. That will keep on learning. Once first phase of RPA is done, data is dumped in one place. Now these vision skills or ML will start understanding the data, extract the information, put in the Excel website, again, Excel worksheet, and then your RPA again takes it back to. So that's where you are freed again to do some more meaningful jobs. That's what the expectation from our industry leaders, from our organization. So this is something very interesting for all of us. Estimates say that AI will contribute to 15.7 trillion to the global economy by 2030. Okay, that means we have a great future. We need to start believing that we have a great future, and that's in our hand. With that, I want to say, be future ready as an organization, as an individual. Thank you.